Cause they all alive and they also got the represent. I respect nature cause God created it. Hey, that's who I hated it. They didn't teach me shit at all, but I still made it. Eat my fruits are visible. I'm trying to be healthy. I've been asking God. I'm trying to tap the sword. Why they trying to keep my vibes low? We're real on the planet. They trying to take my soul. I got a black hat in my car. Evil entities can't get me. Devils kissing down the hill. I can't show no empathy. I'm dissing these elites. I feel like 50 Cent. When I get my power back, I'm just gonna spin it, spin it, spin it. If you not up on my frequency, then you can't be my friend. They trying to make wishes. Do you when you talking to a man? I gotta be a man, cause this world's not that many men. I got from your dollars, get some babies, take her to the end. I don't kill no ants, nigga. I don't kill no spiders, nigga. Cause they all alive and they also got them on purpose, nigga. I respect nature cause God created it. Hey, that's who I hated it. They ain't teach me shit at all, but I still made it. Eat my fruits are vegetable. I'm trying to be healthy. I've been asking God every day. I ain't get a call at all. I just find myself up in the room just staring at the wall. God came through the wall and saying, just be you. Trying to reinvent yourself every day, man. Just be you. I'm trying to tap the sword. Why they trying to keep my vibes low? Reaper on the planet. He's trying to take my soul. I got a black hat in my car. Evil entities can't get me. I'm trying to tap the sword. Why they trying to keep my vibes low? Reaper on the planet. He's trying to take my soul. I got a black hat in my car. Evil entities can't get me. Devils kissing down the hill. I can't show no sympathy. I'm dissing these elites. I feel like 50 Cent. When I get my power back, I'm just gonna spin it, spin it, spin it. If you know that on my frequency, then you can't be my friend. They trying to make us who you when you talking to a man. I can be a man, cause in this world's not that many men. I got from your dollars, make some babies, take her to the end. I don't kill no ants, nigga. I don't kill no spiders, nigga. Cause they all alive and they all still got them on purpose, nigga. I respect nature cause God created it. They ask who I hated it. They didn't teach me shit at all, but I still made it. Eat my fruits and vegetables. I'm trying to be healthy. I've been asking God every day, can you please tell me? I ain't get a call at all. I just find myself up in the room just staring at the wall. God came through the wall and said, just be you. Trying to reinvent yourself every day, man. Just be you. I'm trying to tap the sword. Why they trying to keep my vibes low? Reaper on the planet. He trying to take my soul. I got a black hat in my car. Evil entities can't get me. Devils kissing down the hill. I can't show no empathy. I'm dissing these elites. I feel like 50 Cent. When I get my power back, I'm just gonna spin it, spin it, spin it. If you not up on my frequency, then you can't be my friend. They trying to make wishes. Do you know you talking to a gin? Hello. Hello.
It's time for Operation America 250.
Hello.
We're going to see in Washington in theaters this week. And they expect us to walk through the front door
Call the tree. Call the tree. Call the tree.
If you feel sad, go hug a tree, stop holding stuff in. It's time to release. Cleanse your aura, find your peace. When you hug you a tree, all keep twisting and increase. Take off your shoes, walk bare feet. That's called grounding, cleanse your energy. I hug for my trees, I feel like a leaf. The trees talking to me, I hear when they speak. I feel like a squirrel, make me a nest, man, I feel like a bird. My feet in the soil, connect with the worm. Trees hold wisdom, a lot you can learn. All you gotta do is hug that tree. They connected with nature and fly like the bees. I feel like a tree when I'm planting these seeds. Meditate by a tree, close your eyes and just breathe. Climbing up trees, starting to feel like a monkey. I love trees and I think that they love me. My vibration high, please don't touch disrespecting my tree. It can get ugly. I'm connected to the mycelium network. The knowledge I get is eternal. I thought I is active, the downloads received. I'm hanging on branches like I am a leaf. I'm collecting saps like I am an ant. Don't forget that big tree started this place. Go hug a tree, stop holding stuff in. It's time to release. Cleanse your aura, find your peace. When you hug you a tree, I'll keep twisting and increase. Take off your shoes, walk bare feet. That's called grounding, cleanse your energy. I hug for my trees, I feel like a leaf. The trees talking to me, I hear when they speak. You sit down like the star that you have. Time is not real and I know it. When I hear my internal start going, gotta take control of my emotions. I ain't letting these demons provoke me. My past trauma try to choke me. Shout a word I had to notice. I'm an ancient soul, I'm the oldest. If you get on my boat, better row it. I'm Aquarius, Pisces, cousin. I don't operate out of lust. I operate out of love. I'm a side street from above. Enough is enough. This world needs to wake up. I think I've been abducted, but I'm back right now. I'm gonna lead my brothers and sisters. I'm the black sheep. I'm the chosen one, but you are too. Time to wake you out of your sleep. Third eye open. Yeah, our consciousness is deep. You gotta watch what you sow, cause everything you read. When I walk in the room, everyone know this, cause my aura speaks. You might catch me outside grounded, or hugged in a tree. You might find me astral projected. Life is but a dream. Gotta take everything with a grain of salt. Don't be so quick to believe.
Wow, bro.
If you got hit, even if you were not driving, you need to try this.
Because if you were in a car accident in the last year, you could be owed a large cash payment and not even know it. Even if you weren't driving, all you have to do is click the link in this video, answer 5 simple questions about your accident, and see if
tired of chasing, I just wanna attract now. My yourself was basic, I created, turn my back now. No more wasting energy, I'd rather go and save it. Instead of lift me up, they rather least my God, I hate that. They don't wanna see me up, they want me back in slavery. They want me under 60 under, so I gotta save me. I'm bringing up my inner child, I'm healing myself daily. This energy that I try to fight it like a rabies. Separate myself, I'm isolated like a Buddha. Since around me, they pretend me, they move like my shooter. I'm a king reincarnated, they know I'm a I'm not acting, baby, this my passion. Keep my vibrations high, I'ma keep on laughing. I'm protected, my presence is my weapon. Use awareness, you gon' find a lesson. Put yourself out there, you gotta take some chances. Feed it to the poison, make the healing candy. Take chances, the chances, the chances. Keep working on yourself and grab the benefits of magic. If you feeling low, turn on some music and start dancing. You gotta know thyself, you gotta heal, you gotta tap in. Never like the black and me, I know that I'm the blackest. Never mean it, calling me and I got that shit tatted. You can spirits, I saw my planet, tell me when you leave me. I'm just trying to see nature so niggas just can breathe again. No, they don't deserve it, it was never worth it. They just try to come and take my life cause it was perfect. They would never understand what I went through in this journey. Close my eyes and meditate, I don't care if you heard me. Can't believe everything I hear, I got to use discernment. I don't wanna sell my soul, I'd rather just go earn it. TV telling lies to my vision, I'ma turn it. I'ma change my life with better decisions through my purpose. both sides got it wrong. I think the conscious community have it wrong, and I think the regular brother and sister in the street got it wrong, because we are part of creation. We are God experiencing itself. God is consciousness. Consciousness needed a body to experience its own creation, so it created us. So if I'm trying to experience creation, that means I need to experience every side of it. That way I can grow and I can transform what I created. So I don't think we're supposed to be just living a life like squares or nothing like that, but we do need to be
For
conscious.
some of us. Because there could be no up without down. So in order for there to be players, there must be squares.
Facts. Well, in that analogy, I agree with you. But I think that's the whole point of our body, though. It's the whole point of what you would call the chakra system. You go through these systems of what we call the glandular highway. Once I was at my root where I was a very lustful young man. Once I did have a solar plex chakra where my God was my belly and I ate everything that I desired to eat. Once I did have a hardened heart chakra where I didn't show no love because I was in the street and I was taught love get you killed. My throat chakra, or what I would call my thyroid gland, wasn't balanced at all. I just say the first thing that came on my mind, and I didn't think before I spoke, and I had to learn hard lessons from it. My third eye was closed off where I didn't see myself as God. I was constantly praying to something in the sky and didn't realize that something in the sky was in me.
Right.
My Keter chakra, or my consciousness, was shut down where I had this very closed-minded relationship with God because the Hebrew community I came from, so it kept me very, very tied down to the Torah and the Bible, and I didn't realize it was such other vast knowledges of books out here that can teach me to grow my consciousness even more, to find out that they're all saying the same thing and it's all trying to get me to the same goal, which is to cross over from my fleshly nature to my spiritual nature. So I agree with what you're saying, but I think we all have to experience that in ourselves, that square side and that other side.
But I think we all have it in us. That's why, they say when you can back the most timid person into a corner and they're going to come out scratching.
Yeah, you see that with dogs.
You know what I mean? So I think we all have it in us. And if the right gangster get in the right gangster get into the right situation, he might not fold, but he gonna square up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He gonna recognize the time, you know what I'm saying, to reallocate his energy.
Yeah.
You dig? And I think that's being human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That no human is set on earth to be just one way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, it's a balance. Now as far as health is concerned, you spoke about acidosis.
Yeah.
That's too much acid in the body,
yeah,
right?
too much acid.
Too many acidic things coming in contact with the body.
But back to that balance we've been talking about though. You can't get rid of the acids. Your DNA structure is made with deoxyribonucleic acid. In order for you to break down your food, you actually need hydrochloric acid. So you have acid all throughout the body. Without acid,
too much of it.
Yeah, you just can't have too much of it.
How do you tell when it's too much? Like, what does the body do to tell?
It becomes very, very inflammatory. You start gaining weight. You start retaining water because naturally, if you inflamed or inflammatory response, the root word there is flame, meaning something's on fire. You usually get some type of liquid to put it out. So your body starts retaining a bunch of water to start trying to neutralize that area. And then what happens is the thyroid and the parathyroid produces a hormone called prolactin that pulls calcium from the bones because calcium is the greatest neutralizer mineral inside the body. So you're going to start seeing a bunch of congestion. You're going to start seeing inflammatory responses where your mucosal membrane gets very irritated. You start coughing up mucus, sneezing. You get all these allergens out of nowhere. You get puffy face, puffy eyes. You start distributing a lot of water weight in the gut area. All these are signs of acidity. Then you start seeing that the cells can't get oxygen. So what happens is they go through something called an anaerobic state, which it uses lactic acid, and then it starts fermentating. So then you start seeing toenail fungus, you see fingernail fungus, you see ringworms, you start getting flaky skin disease, all these different diseases. Yeah, diseases all from having a lack of oxygen, because there's three vital things that we cannot live without. We cannot live without oxygen, we cannot live without sunlight, and we cannot live without certain peptides, or what you will call amino acids and minerals. So if you're missing these things,
so we can live without water.
Well, if you look at oxygen and hydrogen is what makes water.
True.
So you can't live without water, but you can live without this.
Drinking water.
You can't live without this, because if you're getting the right food source and the things you're supposed to be eating, you have living water in that as well.
Waters that come from fruit.
They come from fruits, they come from vegetables and things like that. So I believe one time in the creation of humanity, even when you get into Torah, you start seeing it talks about food. Genesis chapter 21, Bereshit chapter 1, verse 29, it says that the herbs will be meat unto you. The fruits and the herbs will be meat unto you, showing you that our real meat came from fruits and it came from vegetable substances. Meat, it was fruit, it was vegetables, it was nuts, seeds, and certain grains. But you don't actually see them really getting deep into a drinking source of water. It talked about things that we can eat. And when you start going back and studying that physiology and biology of that, it's because all of the water we need grew those fruits, grew those vegetables. And if you really get deep into it, it's even a different form of water. It's called the fourth phase of water, which you'll call exclusion zone water, which is H3O2, not H2O. But all we talk about is elements and molecules here. So I do believe you need water, but I'm particularly talking about a different structure water, which is basically water from your fruits and vegetables. So if you're eating fruits the way you're supposed to be, your watermelons, your melons, your apples, if you're eating vegetables like watercress and all of these things, you will see that you really don't be thirsty or dehydrated. And when you look at the definition of being dehydrated, this means you lack electrolytes and minerals. Well, you get electrolytes and minerals from fruits, vegetables, and all these other things. So I done seen people, I got an elder right now in Jamaica, he haven't drunk water in like 36 years. I know another brother.
When he drinks something, what does he drink?
He do coconut water.
Okay.
And he do nothing but fruits and vegetables, and he eat raw, and he don't cook the life out of his food. He don't cook the enzymes. And it's been 36 years, and he haven't drunk any water. I got another one.
You drink water?
I'm drinking some right now.
Okay, but that's more for pleasure. It's not.
Well, no, I'm drinking water right now for necessity and pleasure, right? I don't have no fruits around. We're not in a good fruit season. You know, I'm in Atlanta. I'm not in the Caribbean or in the Jamaican or in the islands like that. A good fruit season depends on where you at on this earth. So like if you in Florida, it's kind of all year round, because Florida is kind of like the Caribbean islands. It's right across the sea.
Right.
If you in Jamaica, if you in Panama, and you in Costa Rica, it's all year round. But in places where it gets winter at and it gets cold, which I think is very, very unnatural, and this stuff just occurred, about
winter is unnatural.
I think this occurred millions of years ago, but
okay.
I think that's unnatural phenomenon.
What you think the season? What you think the changing of the seasons? What you think that is a result of?
The changing of the seasons?
Yeah.
The sun. I think the change of the season is the result of the sun, the moon, and the star constellations, in the way that the sun literally goes in orbit around the earth. I don't believe that we are in space and we are going around the sun. I don't believe in that nonsense at all. But
okay.
I think it all have to do with the sun and the moon and the star constellations and how they go. Now, seasons and the changing of seasons are very, very important. That's why fruits are seasonal. Even if you go to Florida, you go to the Caribbean, even they go through different seasons, but fruit is available at all times.
Season I know in Florida, hurricane season.
Right. But even in those states where it don't get cold at,
right,
they still go through seasonal changes, and fruits still go through seasons. What I'm saying though is all year there's fruit available in its season.
Right.
I'm talking about winter. Winter is when you start really studying like just old philosophies,
right,
and studying old theologies and stuff like that. Winter was just introduced to the world according to the world and the galaxy been here billions and trillions of years. Winter is like kind of like a new thing.
So that's what I'm saying. Given that notion, what do you think introduced or caused winter to be introduced to the world?
That to me, it might sound sci-fi. Sounds so crazy.
Yeah, man, hey, we're here for entertainment.
It sounds like some crazy. It sounds like some crazy.
It can't be too entertaining here,
It's gonna be some crazy stuff, man. Because now you gotta start talking about the ice wall. You gotta start talking about what's trapped under the ice wall. You gotta get into Antarctica. You gotta get into the extraterrestrial, which just means different lands beyond the ice wall. Operation High Jump.
What you think in Antarctica?
From my I still want to go there.
Yeah,
so from
Admiral Byrd's perspective.
Admiral Byrd. Okay, so you in there. Okay, so when you start getting into like Operation High Jump, and you get into all these unclassified, documented CIA, these different lands beyond.
Introduced or caused winter to be introduced to the world.
That, man, was all year there's fruit available in its season.
Right.
I'm talking about winter. Winter is when you start really studying like just old philosophies and studying old theologies and stuff like that. Winter was just introduced to the world according to if the world and the galaxy been here billions and trillions of years. Winter is like a kind of like a new thing.
So that's what I'm saying. Given that notion, what do you think introduced or caused winter to be introduced to the world?
That to me, it might sound sci-fi. Sounds
man, hey, we're here for entertainment.
It sounds like some crazy. It sounds like some crazy.
Can't be too entertaining here,
It's gonna be some crazy stuff, man. Because now you gotta start talking about the ice wall. You gotta start talking about what's trapped under the ice wall. You gotta get into Antarctica. You gotta get into the extraterrestrial, which just means different lands beyond the ice wall. Operation High Jump.
What you think of Antarctica?
From my understanding, I didn't want to go there.
Yeah,
so from my
Admiral Byrd's perspective.
Admiral Byrd. Okay, so you in there. Okay, so when you start getting into like Operation High Jump, you get into all these unclassified, documented CIA documents, though.
They were unclassified. They've been introduced now to the public if you choose to go research it.
Yeah.
They were for a long time.
Yeah, they just
classified.
Yeah, so it's been for a long time.
Yeah, now they've been introduced.
Yeah, so they've been introduced, but you start seeing the stuff that he accounted. He accounted new lands. They accounted seeing different beings. They accounted coming into electrical magnetic field forces that stopped time and gave you a different time zone and everything. And then you start reading about the accounts of, these unidentified aircraft not coming from the sky, but coming from out of the ice. You start reading about this stuff, it sounds like some fairy tale movie stuff. Yeah. But my mama always told me that the messages in the movie get the picture. So
that's right. And I think he also, Admiral Byrd was an explorer. He began, I think, in the Air Force or something like that, and he was He used to explore for the government, and he began to explore for himself. Yeah. And when he documented his explorations, he talked about going to Antarctica beyond the ice wall and seeing tropical land.
Yeah, tropical land. And then he talked about that hole that was at the North Pole that went straight down into a new Earth, and how he was talking about
a new Earth.
Well, the old Earth. Old Earth, should I say. Okay. And they was talking about, and they called it Agartha or something like that, man. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's just, when you in consciousness and you just learn this stuff and you like to attain knowledge, you read a little bit of everything. You read a little bit of everything.
Yeah, that's what we here for, man. We here to learn until we die. We start learning, we start dying.
But I'm not saying that's conclusive, y'all, but it's very, very interesting.
We can't tell you if it's true or not. It's just somebody looked down.
It's very interesting.
They said they saw it. I can't say that they didn't.
I wasn't there.
In your book right here, Healing, the illusion we call dis-ease, the Bible of health. Yeah. In this book, you talk about a number of things, but mostly about holistic healing and about how to keep the body healthy without using pharmaceutical medications and so on and so forth. But in one part of your book, you discussed unresolved trauma and how it impacts physical illness.
Yes, facts. It's a doctor named by the name of Dr. Bruce Lipton. He talks about the molecules of emotions, and I got real deep into his work, and it just shows you that every emotion we have, it literally stands for energy in motion. So when you're feeling angry, that's epinephrine. When you're feeling scared, that's adrenaline. When you're stressed out, that's cortisol. When you happy, that's dopamine. When you horny and wants to bond with your significant other, or if you even bonding with your child, that's oxytocin. So every energy that we experience in this third dimension physical plane, it has an exact chemical reaction in the body, and based off of that emotion, or what we call energy in motion, these biological functionings in your body change. So when you're going through a stage of fight or flight, right? Cortisol raises inside the bloodstream. When cortisol raises, it causes what you would call vasoconstriction, not vasodilation.
My guy.
And it can flow excessively, but it causes vasoconstriction where they cold. This raises the blood pressure and it pushes all the blood to your extremities. It pushes it to your feet and it pushes it to your hands, where you can either fight or you can flight. Well, it literally cuts off circulation to the brain.
Say thank you.
Under high amounts of pressure or stress, they make poor decisions. You see that? So based off
Not
of
yet,
that,
bro.
you are likely to have insulin resistance because
Yeah,
the
can I
body
get
is
some
not worried
sunlight?
about eating. The body
Can
is not
somebody
worried
open the
about
door
you
for me?
burning sugar over. The body is worried about you either running or fighting for your life. So all the other
I'm
functions
using.
shut
I'm
off.
live. I'm about to
This
give it to you.
shows you, just from a physiological standpoint, that the body cannot fight and grow at the same time. It's either going to choose to do one. And our cells, me studying cells for 16 years and just being a biologist and having my own laboratory and having my own healing clinics, what we notice is when the body is under stress, it's going to always choose survival mode.
Right.
And that's so that's just showing you just by being stressed or being in fear is impossible to heal. It's impossible to reach homeostasis. When you happy, dopamine kick off in the brain. We notice when dopamine kick off in the brain, nitrates are actually being kicked on by the skin, which gives you nitric oxide, which is called NO3. NO3 expands the blood vessels. When you expand the blood vessels, you get more vitamins, you get more amino acids, you get more nutrient-dense particles to the cells.
Close the door.
Just by being happy.
Thank you, Swervo. We appreciate you, bro.
Epinephrine, norepinephrine, that makes your heart speed up and beat fast. This takes you back into that high cortisol mode that puts you back in fight or flight. And it messes with the liver because it clogs up bile inside the liver duct. So being angry, being grieful, having a lot of grief and not getting rid of it, not releasing, it stores up all of these chemicals inside of you, and it takes you through something called metabolic disease, all by your mindset. And it shows you that we are consciousness that needed a body to experience reality, and that the mind created the body and the body did not create the mind. Because if the body created the mind, it'd be a total different reaction. Why can I think something and it changes my physical biology, but it don't happen the other way around? And I've been doing research, and it talks about these 7 places on earth where people are most likely to heal or get
I'm gonna make
rid
y'all
of
go back
all
in the house. Y'all
so-called
start that
diseases.
shit. Cause y'all out here with me.
Some of
It's
them
about
have,
peace.
physical
I don't
things
do
like
drama.
mountaintops, being in the
Oh, y'all
mountains,
listening
being
to me?
closer to the sun, it gives
I
you
don't do drama.
thermogenesis and stuff like that. But
Save
most
that
of
for
the
your
places,
mama.
like number 2 is a sanctuary. What is healing physically in a sanctuary? Define I'm with you on that, brother. So when they define sanctuary, we just talked about like church, where they stand. So I'm like, well, what's they made with squares? Squares are very, very bad for us. If you look at anything in nature, everything is supposed to be circular, or like mushrooms. Mushrooms have that same circle top, and that's the reason why a whole hurricane can come through, and every house will be swept away, but the mushrooms will still be standing. Why they won't build their houses in the structure of mushrooms? That's the same way they built their temples, their teepees, and everything else back in the day. Everything with us is geometrically squared up. Exactly, but most of your churches and temples are what we call sanctuaries or made in squares. So I'm like, well, it couldn't be that because squares is known scientifically to block energy and make stale energy. Make stale energy. So I started getting into the biology of belief. It's the belief of the mindset that they're going to see their pastor or going to see their whoever is over them that's been ordained to heal. That belief, that placebo effect brings them healing. So, and then I started going to the other ones, like they was talking about the temples and the monks.
Wait a minute now. The placebo effect that's in the building.
What happened to the teddy bear that was on the other table?
Intended, the squares are intended to limit them. To limit you, but the placebo of the message coming from the person inside the building is healing to the person. But if they believe.
If they believe. And then now you got to get into the placebo effect that was done over 30 years ago when they went to the doctor and the doctor gave half of the participants actual real medicines and the other half he gave them sugar pills. And the study came back that the ones who had the sugar pills, they actually healed way faster and healed way quicker than the people that had the actual pharmaceuticals. So it's showing you that we are not healing each other. We are truly healing ourselves from our belief because our belief changes our biology.
I heard that. What you think matters.
How long did it take you to come to the point where you felt the need to put all of your teachings in this book?
I've been doing this for 16 years. It took me 5 years to write the book. That's the reason why it looks like a Bible. And it's called Healing the Illusion We Call Disease because believe it or not, I don't believe in disease. I believe in
Close
dis-ease,
the
meaning that
fucking door.
the energy inside the body, or what they call the chi, in Hebrew we call it the
Listen, that's why I
ruach,
bring you
in
outside.
the churches they call it the spirit. When it can't flow easily throughout the body, it causes blockages, and then these blockages cause these mental traumatic experiences. Then you start feeling it more on a physical level, which is the things that we're talking about, whether
Can
you
you sit
call
over
it
here?
diabetes, which is nothing but the body trying to heal
In that
itself,
sense,
cancer,
that
which is
wouldn't-
nothing but the body trying to heal itself. We are made in the image and the likeness of God, and God didn't create dis-ease. He created it. Let me say it. It created a set of laws, and if you disobey these laws, if you go up against these universal laws, then you're going to feel the effect. You know, so that's all this is. So when you start really looking at my book, I'm trying to bring a different type of education to the people so they can get their power back. If we keep on with the allopathic community and the perspective and the way they look at disease, they leave us helpless, they leave us hopeless with nobody to blame. You know, it happened spontaneously. It was a tragic accident. So now we don't have no blame, so we can't do nothing about it. So then we are hopeless. So now we have to go and do the chemotherapy. We got to go do the radiation. We got to do all of these, the insulin unit. We got to do everything when all we have to do is just sit back and be. I'm gonna say this: me being uneducated, learning healing, it was way better than me
Can you
getting
move? Yo, my
education
nigga,
in
I'll
here.
tell you
I
again.
learned
You in
more
your head,
being
you gonna fall down the
uneducated.
street.
It made me more qualified because when I finally went to school, I seen why a lot of people are stuck and can't heal. Because we start learning different cultures and different perspective on how to look at our bodies. So from an uneducated standpoint, when they say I have a virus, they say the first thing with virus is a fever. They say what follows that fever is a cough. After the cough, you get, respiratory issues. And then from there, you have all these other issues that start happening topically on the skin. So from a person that's never heard of that, and you just looking at what the body's doing, okay, I got a fever. My body is heating itself up because certain things like pathologies and bacteria can't live over 100.3 degrees in the body. So if my Fahrenheit go over 100.3 degrees, a lot of pathology will naturally die. Not only that, when I have a fever, it thins out my blood. Well, why do my blood need to be thin? Most likely, I got vasoconstriction. So the fever will thin my blood out. That way it can increase circulation. So I'm increasing circulation, plus what I'm doing is I'm killing pathologies. And then the last thing is when you start looking at the actual fever, the fever is burning out these viral particles, which I've never seen a viral particle in my life, and I will pay anybody 10 grand just to show me a real viral particle moving around, not a picture of it. I have some of the most expensive microscopes in my laboratory, and I still haven't seen them, and I've seen everything in the blood. I'm one of the best that can read the blood, and I've never seen these particles that everybody say. Every time I see them, it's a drawn up molecule that they done drew themselves. So when you start looking at a fever, the fever is the body healing itself. It's killing pathologies, it's increasing circulations, and it trips the thyroid to make you sweat. Sweating is one of the #1 detoxifiers on earth. That's why people that get in a sauna, traditional sauna every day, live 20 years longer if they don't die of something like an accident or something like that. They live longer than everybody else. So I get to sweat. My blood is thinning to increase late, and I'm bringing all these goodies to my body to rebuild itself, and I'm killing pathologies. That don't sound like a virus. That sounds like the body healing itself. Then they talk about a cough. When you cough, you feel something happen in your chest.
Yeah.
So they will give you a cough suppressant to suppress that cough and to suppress that mucus back into the mucosal membrane.
Makes
The
no
cough
sense.
is
Why the
breaking up
fuck?
any type of congestion inside the bronchial tube so you can get rid of it.
Why
A
do I
sneeze,
wanna
a
suppress
chew.
it?
Oh, I'm getting rid of particles inside of my nasal passage. So all of these different symptomologies that they call in disease or that they call in viruses from an education standpoint seem scary. But if you uneducated, you just sit back and look at it for what it is. It's the body naturally cleansing its plumbing system.
Now, you spoke about being uneducated and that caused you to receive the best education.
Yeah.
So I can understand how you became uneducated with, your description of your previous life.
Yeah, facts.
But where did you go to seek education?
So we did Stanford University. I got certifications in nutritional science.
Okay.
I went to University of Adelaide, biochemistry.
Okay.
Stanford again for human biology. Man, I got so many botanical medicine certifications.
How you make it through so many schools?
Because I'm naturally smart, which we all truly.
No, I mean physically. Like you travel to these different places.
Travel sometimes, but most of them I did do online. Most of them I did do online. And then we was awarded a PhD by Harvest University just for all the work I did.
Excuse me, Harvest
University? Yeah, Harvest, not Harvard. Okay. Harvest.
What is Harvest University?
Harvest University is a sanctuary. It's a church that, So and they give away a bunch of stuff to people that's just doing good stuff for the community.
Okay.
They gave me an honorary PhD, and then we actually have a lifetime achievement award from the president, signed by the president for all the work that we've been doing.
That's that fucking ADHD inside of you. Learn how to control yourself.
So
listen to
one of
yourself.
those.
Stop forgetting
got so
what the
many
fuck you just was
awards
told.
and certifications, and got invited to so much stuff. You know what I'm saying? And
you say we.
Well, I never speak as I because it took a whole team to get me where I'm at. So I always like
I do that too.
Yeah, so I always like to.
Nigga said it took a whole team to get him where he at. You heard?
It ain't Yaki, it's a whole brand. Yaki just the name of the brand. But
You
I wouldn't know
heard?
who I was if it wasn't for my magnificent
Shout out to
team.
Yaki and the brand. The Yaki brand. Shout out to y'all, man.
When you say we instead of I,
People be thinking you can do all this shit by yourself. Nigga said I got this far on my own, but I still need my people. So all support is necessary. Shout out to Swervo. Appreciate you, gang.
I had to realize, like, hold on. Once I really started learning the knowledge, I'm like, I gave you the herbs, I gave you the diet, I gave you the actual schedule, but you did the work.
Right.
So you healed yourself. I didn't do nothing. I just gave you the education, the right education. So I had to quit saying that I did this, I did that. No,
you don't want credit.
And that's me taking the work from you. And that's the same thing that the doctors are doing to us. They're making us feel hopeless, like I'm the only person that can get you well. No, you get yourself well. I just give you the education. And that's why mindset is so important. Being cultural is very, very important. I talk about in the book it's called ingestion. What happens before the bite? How all of these big corporations and and companies like the big food industry have studied biology and studied us so scientifically. They have something called the cephalic phase. And what the cephalic phase is what happens before you eat the food, how to get you to the point where you eat the food. And they got it down to a science between me thinking about eating and me taking my first bite. They have got a scientific strategy that can go between both of those, and they can basically manifest what you're going to eat. And they do it by ovening positions, where they put their ovens at. Ovening positions. Basically, if I build a McDonald's, they want the oven in a certain place for when the fumes come out, it goes into the neighborhoods. You laughing, man. I'm serious, brother. It's crazy, man.
Knowledge.
Hey, it'll blow. Look,
That should be going in into the neighborhood.
They have you good with words. They have something called palatable acoustics.
I don't know that one.
Palatable acoustics is how the French fry sounds when you chew it. It's a scientific on how crispy to make it, and that's the reason the crunch and how the crunch does something to the reward center and make you want to eat them again. That man, they got something called a bliss point, where it shows when you eat these foods how fast can the sugar go into your bloodstream to actually get off these dopamine receptors to make you addicted, and then they draw all of the nutrients out for you never get satisfied and filled. So it creates this addictive behavior to eating your food. So the
Why Swerve was gifting me on my super chat. What she said?
I think
It's
because they realize that money is currency,
11 o'clock.
which means it's not really money. They don't want the actual green dollars. They want the currency from it, because currency is an energetic field, and this energetic field brings power. So they don't want the money, they want the power. But we want the power too, but we ain't finna be doing all that to get it.
Yeah, it don't matter. It don't matter that much. I just want enough power to take care of me and mine.
But that's a gene that we was created for. When if you read in the Torah, when he created Adam and Kawal, who they call Adam and Eve, he told them to have dominion over the earth. So it's in all of us to inherently have that feeling of want to be powerful. We supposed to be chasing power. But if you have to bring people into subjection, and you got to bring people into mental enslavement to have that power, then it's the wrong source. So it just shows you everybody operate with a different source.
Yeah. Now you spoke again. I said, it took more than you to get where you are, which I think is a very noble concept. I people that came before you, how much studying did you do of them? Like Dr. Sebi, how much did he influence?
Well, I was inspired by Dr. Sebi. You initially asked how I got into healing. I was talking about how I threw out my medicine over because I was taking high blood pressure medications. And high blood pressure medication kept me from getting an erection at 21 for about 9 months to a year.
How was your blood pressure?
Man, it used to be like 220 over 100.
Man, that's stroke.
That's why I attacked I had a heart attack. So when I got home, I turned on YouTube, and I didn't type in nothing about my heart. I typed in natural ways to cure ED. I wanted my mans to work. So I'm thinking about that. Like
at 21, you was having this problem.
21. Yep, it was a side effect from the medication. Then I had high blood sugar too, which ain't making it
you
better.
were taking blood pressure medicine?
Yeah, and it was the side effects from it. So I didn't want to take the medication no more. I just had this so-called heart attack. I'm at home. I threw away all this medicine, so I'm on YouTube and I'm typing in natural ways to cure erectile dysfunction. And this Caucasian man, you know, he pulled up. At this time, I didn't know all the words, so I couldn't really vibe with him. Then after that, YouTube had just came out with a suggestion. And this bald-head man with a gray beard, tall, talking about I've healed sickle cell anemia, leukemia, diabetes, HIV, herpes. I'm like, man, he is lying through his teeth. Because at this time, I'm not educated in the real. I didn't think none of these things can be eradicated. I was taught that these things are incurable diseases. I need to be at the doctor for the rest of my life.
And you had never heard of Dr. Sebi?
Never heard of him. So, but something energetically happened where I could identify with him. For one, he was black, I'm black. For two, he was confident and he just sounded so sure. And the other man didn't sound sure, and something just clicked. So I said, let me sit there. Man, I ended up staying up 48 hours, man, just watching nothing but him. And I ended up writing down every place he been, Usa Village. I wrote down there. I found out everything. So that really was starting my journey. And then that led
What
me.
year was this?
This was 2010. So this led me to Dr. Layla Africa. And Dr. Layla Africa, you know, may the Most High rest both their souls. I want to give them a moment of silence to both of them real fast.
This settlement check completely changed my life, and it came from a car accident I almost forgot about.
I say.
I say.
So then Dr. Layla Africa and Dr. Valentine's like took me under their wing. So I started learning stuff from them, and I'm like, okay, but I didn't agree with everything like Layla was saying either. So I said, well, it's time for me to start doing this myself. So I started taking up on my own classes, studying my own thing. That's when I started enrolling in school and stuff like that. So learning all of that, and then, you know, healing myself really gave me the experience to be like, hold on, something ain't right here. And that's when I realized it's not the disease. My disease was just detoxifying. That's all it was. I was stopping the detoxification process by taking all of these medicines. So when you start really looking at all these diseases, they're not diseases at all. It's the body's attempt to heal itself. And the last final attempt, which I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt, my book does it, is cancer. That's the last stage of the body saying, look, this is the last try I'm gonna get before you completely metabolically break down. I'm gonna form these tumors, I'm gonna call them biological trash bags, I'm gonna take all this metabolic waste, all of this radiation, all of these heavy metals, I'm gonna put it in this fleshly trash bag and I'm gonna seal it off. That's what it is. Now somebody got to take out the trash. But what we do is we go to the doctors, we get them radiated out, we get them chemotherapy down to see if they shrink, or we literally get them hacked and cut out. Instead of just going back from the uneducated standpoint and seeing why is my body making tumors